Let's go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like. It does come, I did buy it on Amazon for about $180 plus tax, and it comes directly from the manufacturer. Free shipping if you're Prime. Supposed to be the 004 model, and it's listed right here. Agricas, not sure how they pronounce it, AGT 0004. I noticed that Amazon sometimes lists that as 0004, but on some of the other part numbers it's just a 004. Must be the same item. I'll be putting this on my 30-year-old Stihl Old 29 Farm Boss. And they make them for Husqvarna and Jonsered. Just go to Amazon and punch it in, Agricas Debarker, and they're really good about listing every single model that model number is good for. And that's the shield. Not a lot of YouTube videos on this one. You can buy debarkers quite a bit cheaper if you just want to cut down your roots on trees when you're mowing, and that's all I'm going to use mine for. I'm not into logging or debarking or anything, but once I saw how effective they are on planing down tree roots, and we've got some that if you don't practically stop, that zero turn, when you hit them with that kingpin, it puts a lot of pressure on it. And the instructions to me look pretty decent. We'll just go through the motions to see how we get along. 5.8 pounds. It's going to add at least that much to your chainsaw. Well, got my attention. It's made in Turkey. First thing we're going to do is remove our sprocket, replace it with theirs. Now they do give you the needle bearing. We've got some high quality grease. Take care of your C-clip. You do not get one with it. I had an 18-inch bar on mine. I didn't show removing the bar and chain. You've probably done that 1,000 times yourself. So they want us to remove our little bearing. We'll put it up carefully. Okay, the ID looks okay on theirs, as does the OD. Don't get carried away on this step, guys. You'll be slinging grease on your clutch. Of course, I say that and I tend to get carried away with grease. Almost zero amount of play in that. Well, that whole top row is just those 3 simple steps. You'll remove your clutch drum, you'll grease your bearing up, put it into the new one, the new pulley. Ensure that you've installed the C-clip correctly, check it. What they want to do next is attach the cutting head to the main brace. I'm not going to do this now, but I just noticed the way to set these teeth, according to the instructions, you lay this bar and they should be even. So they're clearly out a good 1/8 of an inch too far. And those are maybe a 1/16, quite a bit less. That tooth there is about perfect. So anyway, that's what we'll do last. Anyway, we'll just follow the instructions. We'll set our teeth the way they want you to do it. Right now we want to just attach this. Goes on until it doesn't go on any further, probably. They give you the Allen wrench for this. Okay, on the main brace and the cutting head, looks like the reason for the offset is to keep the cutting head right in the center of the saw. Yeah, let's try this. I'm going to try something a little different than what they're wanting you to put the belt on and then the bolts. But what's happened is that the main framework is jumping on the outside. It's got to be on the inside. It's got to be that close. You can see where it rides inside the pulley. And we can still move it in and out for adjustment. to leave the belt right like that. It'll probably need an adjustment of some kind after we run it for a while anyway. We're good and square. The nuts are OEM size. They are on this Stihl 029 anyway. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, empty your oil out, or you're going to have a mess. Empty all your oil out. There's the oil galley right there where it pumps out. And they don't have to be that tight. Tight enough not to move. Last step is putting on the safety shields, the guards. I think they ought to be on there. We know we have to adjust the blades. Okay guys, here's our depth gauge. And I definitely want them flush with it. You can see where they're not. The pin of the blade securing washer number 13, it's this one, on top of the blade must be at the front to avoid excessive vibration and potential damage to the transport arm. We'll put him flush. We'll slide down to the next one. I'm going to push up a little bit on the bottom one because you can create a gap there if you're not careful. There's 4 blades on the head, but it came with only 2 spares. They're very sharp and thick, look well made. Also, the torque on these blades should be 35 Newton meters. I think I'm right there. There's quite a bit difference. That's almost an 1/8 of an inch difference. Next one. Blades are adjustable. Guys, the deal is with these pin made on this washer like that, check this out. It's not adjustable or anything. It's made on there. So if you look at this and try to imagine that plain in a piece of wood, I think it's made just the exact perfect length to work with your depth bar. Now obviously if you had it stuck way out there, you're going to remove too much wood. The saw may not like it. But when used with the depth gauge, I think it's a safety thing maybe to keep it from digging in too deep. Okay, they give you a cylinder lock to put it in the spark plug. Take the plug out, put it in the hole very carefully, and it will come up against the piston and lock it if you feel like you need it. It's not mentioned in the instructions. Spare blade, that washer goes on it, and this has to be at the front. That pin is made onto the washer. Kind of see how it's made here. Big taper, 1 spare bolt. Got a pretty serious taper on it. You've got 2 different lengths aluminum spacers and 2 different lengths bolts. The longer bolt has to go in the front because it's reaching clear over here, where this one is a lot closer to you. The short spacer on him and start him. There's the threads for him. Right there. Well-made looking product. I noticed reading a lot of, before I pulled the trigger on buying this one, I read every review I can on the cheaper ones. You can buy planers, they're made slightly different, do the same thing, for as cheap as $60, but a lot of complaints. 20–30% of them are griping about how the bolts are stripping out on the product. You've probably run into that before on some stuff. There's a threaded hole on the head of the machine. Well, when you get it on, it is adjustable, and I don't know which way it would want to be, but I'm going to go back a little further just to cover up the pulley more. I don't think I want it up here on the head. I feel like I'm going to have good control over the head where it is. We'll just shut it back all the way. These are 10mm bolts, and of course they just need to be snugged. 21.7 pounds. But I think you're going to appreciate that weight trying to plane your roots or grind a small stump. Guys, when you do this, you need to drain the oil out of your oil tank. But I kind of made a mess because there's going to be a little bit of oil in the system, in the pipeline, whatever you want to call it. So as soon as you fire it up, after you do it, you want to just hold it up like this. And there's not much oil, maybe a teaspoon of oil will be in the system, and you'll get it out. But I had to go in there and wipe it down a little bit because it got on the belt. No big deal. Okay guys, my saw is 30 years old. It has cut tons and tons of trees and down trees and ice storms and stuff over the last 30 years. It's not used every day. That saw will set. Sometimes I'll park it and it might set for 2 or 3 years. And then a storm comes along and it has to go to work. But it's been through maybe a dozen bars, many chains, I think it's on its 3rd sprocket. And the only thing I'm going to do with this is just plane down some roots that are coming up above the ground surface. And hope that it didn't hurt the tree, but on my trees, if it hurts them, well, that's just too bad. The trees will have to come on down anyway. As far as the tool itself, it seems extremely well made. We're talking seal bearings on the ends. It's a Bando belt. Bando makes the same belts that come on all the Hondas OEM. I was very impressed with the sprocket. The sprocket fit is phenomenal. The precision of it, and of course it's heavy. But again, I think that the weight will be appreciated once you start grinding down some tops of the roots, or debarking a tree, whatever you want to do with it. Well, I'll definitely be putting it to work in the future and doing some videos on it, just to see how it goes. I've got my expectations are kind of high on it, but overall, I think it's going to be a pretty good product. Hey, thanks for watching. Work safe out there and have a good one.